welcome to Chartwizard Trading. Boy, do I have a special surprise for you. First things first, this one's going to need a drink. That's ice cubes. Today's drink of choice. Decided to change it up a little bit. We're going with some Captain Morgan. We're going to listen to that pour into the glass. It's about a shot and a half, something like that. And I like to mix it with a little bit of Coke. Just a splash. The market's looking toppy, folks. It's looking real toppy. Not gonna lie about that. What you're looking at in front of you here is a chart of the S&P 500. Now, it is possible, highly possible, that like every market is topped out. And I have counts to support all of that. And that's why I'm making this video. Sure, I know I've said it before, okay? But I'm kind of few and far between, if we're all being honest with each other. I'm not calling tops every day, okay? I'm not Nostradamus. I can't tell you what the future is like tomorrow, okay? But what I can tell you is about probability and when to be careful. Before we get into all of the charts, let me give you just a quick walkthrough, just a 30 seconds. Show you what the Discord's all about. It all starts here on Chartwizard Trading, right? That's wavecounts.com. Chartwizard Trading is the service. Lots of content on here, lots of videos. Most of it, the grand majority, probably 90% plus of it, is all membership based. It's all for the members, okay? You can see this video on there. It's going to be right here once I'm done with it, and by the time you see it, that's where it's going to be sitting. This is the muster we just did. Roundup of hourly chart counts of popular assets. My insights over here that scroll through my charts. You get access to all my charts. Okay. More added all the time. I take requests, put them in. I see interesting things, I add them to the list. All my charts are in here. You get access to all of that. Trading course. Okay, that's currently in development. Okay, but this part isn't written yet. But as of today, we have an introduction that's very important. Don't skip that part. This is the longest lesson. This will be filled quickly as we go. The Elliott wave theory is a whole thing in itself. It's just the Elliott wave theory, and then I have tons more that I'm going to add. And it's a whole course that you can go through and reference to learn how to trade the market. Compare your charts with mine. Let me show you the Discord. So here's a sneak peek inside of the Discord server. Here's the main focus here is what we call the Gupdates. That's me updating, okay, when I come out with the video, okay? We have live streams that you can attend, live in person, ask questions, go through stuff. Office hours, you can come and ask anything you want. Live video sharing. Here's me dropping the latest lesson in the trading course. Mini chart updates. at least once a day, sometimes more. Okay, many charts being like hourly charts on probably 7 or 8 different assets and anything that's interesting that's going on. Okay, wizardy topics, go over news, scalp entries, the Elliott wave theory. I have my own entry strategy using the RSI, called the momentum entry strategy. Squeaky, one of my mods, she does the smart money concepts. That's all in the Discord, and you can talk, ask questions, chat with each other. It's all there. And I know that was a little bit more than 30 seconds, so I lied a little bit. Okay, it's probably more like a minute. But we're back to the S&P 500. And this is my primary count. This is how I'm counting it right now. There's a few different counts out there. Okay, a few different legal counts that you can go with. They're shady. This is what I think personally is the most probable. We're in the middle of an expanded flat. That's what I'm thinking here. Okay, you can count this multiple ways coming down. I have it labeled as a triple zigzag. You can count it as a double zigzag. I mean, there's a couple different ways you can count it. At one point, I even had you can count it as a leading diagonal, although the fifth wave was a little bit too short. So it laid to some trepidation there. And rightly so, as the high eventually did break, reminding us all that that's why we have rules. Okay. Double zigzag here in a B wave. This is corrective behavior. I am 98% sure of that. I do not think that this is a bull market. This is all part of one big correction. And this low is going to break, is what this count suggests. And that's of all assets. All assets. We'll go over a couple other big ones too. Focusing on the S&P 500 right now, but I'm going to show you some other ones. I have everything in a B wave. If you don't know what a B wave is, check the top right now, because I just put out a video of the characteristics of a B wave. Regardless, what are the expectations? What are the expectations, Gab? What's going to happen here? What's the next thing? 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something to that effect. I don't know how long it's going to take. I just randomly drew that. Okay. So don't say that, oh, you know, got to put these targets out and that's what they are. No, no, no. The price action needs to develop. Okay, but 5 waves down is what we're looking at. Now it could be that shallow. That would be actually relatively shallow, to be honest with you. I'm being very conservative with what I just drew there. Okay. It's highly possible that it's much deeper than that. Something like this. Okay, or even lower. We're talking about an expanded flat here to go sideways. We're going sideways since here. That's the goal of this entire wave structure, is to go sideways since the COVID crash. Even though the COVID crash was bad, this is going to be nasty. Nasty. The whole point of putting this out is so you can save up your cash. Okay. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, I'm here portraying my opinion on the market with factual based evidence and market structure to support that opinion. What you do with it's on you. I don't care what you do with it. I do. That's wrong. I do care. I want you to be successful. I don't want to see anyone get wrecked. Okay, but what did I just draw here? Okay, and this is a macro move here. This is not going to be, this is going to take a long time to play out. Okay, possibly, this could take the rest of the year. Just this part right here can take the rest of the year. Or it could take 6 months. I don't know. But what did I just draw? Ugh. Ugh. Brutal. Brutal head and shoulders pattern. Just absolutely brutal. We'll see what happens. Okay. But let me show you something smaller. Okay, this is macro time frame. This is a sneak peek. I don't normally do this. Okay. Oh, and before I do that, I should mention I have this channel up, right? This is a corrective price channel. 3-wave moves are contained by parallel lines. Okay. So you have a zigzag here, which initially where I thought the top was, because we had a 3-wave move zigzag. We got this move, which turns out that that's a double zigzag in the next wave, and then came rip roaring out and another zigzag. That's what B waves do. That's the reason I'm counting this as a triple zigzag, and I do truly think it is a triple zigzag, is to give a form of alternation here, right? It'd be weird to have a double zigzag here and a double zigzag here, and it's just double zigzags all over the place. I mean, come on, right? Give me some alternation. So we're going to alternate patterns here, the A wave with the triple zigzag, the B wave with the double zigzag. But it's all going to come to fruition with this C wave, with the granddaddy here, the impulse. The impulse wave. And it's going to be scary. But I promise you, when all's said and done, it's going to be okay. It really will. It's not going to be the end of the world. But it will be scary. Anyway, smaller. This is a sneak peek. Okay, a sneakity peekity. Boom. This is one alternative. This is the hourly chart now. I was on the daily. This is the same thing. This is the E-mini futures chart, but it's smoothing out the price action. That's why I'm doing that. So there's not a bunch of gaps in there. Okay. This is the tail end. So that ABC you saw at the end here, right? This ABC right here, that's what this is. Okay, ABC. And we're kind of in a critical juncture right now because this could either be finished, okay, or as if it labeled, it's it's an extended first wave. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extended first wave. This is a 2, or it's not done yet. Right? You can come down here. That's the 2. And then you only have 3 left. And that's very probably just 3 left. 3, 4, 5, done. Okay, that is one option. The other option, which to me seems most probable right now, it's not the first thing I showed you, is that it's already done. And this is gone. Then that's it. This 5 goes here. This C goes here. And it's all done. And we've already started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's just going to be 1 of a 1. Okay. That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning baby steps. Okay, because that will be retraced. That will give us a retracement, something like that, most likely. And then that's the big doggy. Okay. Then you're gonna then it's going to start getting scary after that. Right? But we're not out of the woods here. We don't have anything to show us that this is true yet. We're going to find out next week. Okay, we came pretty close to the high, okay, with this peak, but that's the rule. Didn't break the high. And this could be all she wrote. All done. You have a 5-wave move here. It's done. Now whether that's one of more to go or it's all done, time is going to tell. The way you're going to know if it's all done is if this breaks right here. Okay? That breaks right there. That's how you know that this count is correct. You don't have to fret. You break this in 5, like that, it's game over. That's all she wrote, mama. That means that it's all done. But you don't have to freak out. You don't have to sell everything you have yet. Because you're getting that. You're getting a 3-wave retrace. That's when you want to sell everything you have. In my opinion, of course. Not financial advice. That's when I will sell everything I have. We'll put it that way. So that's the S&P 500. The rest of the indexes are a very similar story. Okay, let me show you the Dow Jones. Alright, so Dow Jones, through the magic of editing, ta-da, you have a new chart. And here's the Dow Jones. Similar story, okay, but a little different structure on the in-between. So the S&P 500 gave us the double zigzag. Makes sense, it has a lot more tech stocks and stuff. This just gave us a zigzag. Okay. This, honestly, you can take everything else out. Forget about the S&P 500, forget about the NASDAQ, forget about all that stuff. This right here, what we're looking at, this structure right here is the, most of you probably don't understand and you don't see it, but that structure right there is the most bearish thing that I have probably ever seen. Let's take a trip back in time. What I thought was a very, very bearish just a few years ago. Actually, it was a little longer than a few years ago, but we're going to talk about this D wave. Okay, right here. Now, I didn't have a YouTube channel then or anything like that. I was just a dude trading the market. All right, we had this top. This is a uber bullish time, by the way. This was a 3. Okay, uber bullish time in the history of the market. And I was counting out this correction. I was like, okay. I was a little confused at this point. Because I was like, that doesn't look, I was going double zigzag is what I was going with. But it didn't make sense because we didn't really make a new low here. It was like a truncated zigzag, a corrective climb, and a zigzag. And I was like, I don't know about that. I'm a little confused, but okay, I'm going to buy it. And I did. And we came up, and I'm holding, and I'm holding, and I'm holding. And this all started to play out. I'm like, okay, where's my 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? Here we go, right? Let's moon this. And we started getting this contracting price action. It's like, that really looks like a triangle to me. It really, really does. It looks so much like a triangle. I can get an impulse here, right? I can get an impulse there. I can get 1, 2, extended third, 4, 5, right? I got an impulse right there. But then the rest of it, it's just, you break out some labels. A, B, C, D, E. Just looks like a triangle. But I'm going to hold, because triangles can never be the end. There's always something to come after a triangle. So I kept going and I'm holding and I'm like, okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? You know what? I'm gonna sell. Okay. We got near here, near this top. Okay, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was definitely February. I know that. Can I tell you the exact day? No, I can't. I want to say about 2 weeks before this top of before this code crash. I'm like, you know what? We got a really good ratio here. This really looks like a triangle. I'm out. And I did, and I sold. And then everything that I had built up when I sold this top got completely erased and more with that COVID crash. Because I could recognize the structure. That a second wave cannot be a triangle. It cannot. It's against the rules. But people were really, really bullish here. But look at this structure. Okay, that, of course, we have the benefit of hindsight, but that is a clear three-wave move. I mean, that is super, super bearish. And yes, it was super, super bearish. It was incredibly bearish. That's where we're at right now. I'm here to tell you folks that is bearish. Fully contained, and I know the emotions are running high, and I know you feel like it's so bullish that we're just going to shoot forever. I can't agree. I can't. It is fully contained, a three-wave move, fully contained by parallel lines. Right, and look where we're finding resistance. Now, if we can come down, right? Maybe we can come down like this. Everybody's scared. If we could break through this, find support on top and go, then, I'm going to change my tune. I don't see it. I really don't. That is just much too big. Much too big to be the start of an impulse. I mean, here's an impulse. All right, I'm taking you back in time since 2009. Okay, for just rip roaring for 10 years, even just to this point, right? For 9 straight years, just a consecutive rip. Oh, that's a gravy train right there. But look at the structure. Look at it. So contained, so just beautifully impulsive all the way, and until you get a blow off top, right? Here's your parabolic final rise in that third wave, right? And then correction for the next 2 years. And then here it is again, an impulse. Just a beautiful impulse all the way up to fresh highs. Just keep going, baby, until you're exhausted. And then correction, right? This does not look like that. Not even remotely, not even close, not even in the slightest little bit. It does not look like there's just beautiful impulse. Doesn't look like it at all. That looks like a three-wave correction. If this was going to impulse, it should have kept going from here. To be dead honest with you, right? If this is going to be impulse, you should have got this, and you should have just kept going, right? Just you get little corrections along the way and so on and so forth. But we should be up here by now. And it's not. It's just not. But before you say, oh, that's absurd. No, look at it. Open your eyes. Look at what an impulse looks like. This started at $6,300 and went to $27,000. Don't tell me that if you have an impulse right here starting at 28,500 that you can't get to 50,000 in an impulse. A nicely contained impulse. It's not out of the question. But it kind of is if you do this. If you have this sideways bullshit, that's what corrections are, they're bullshit, for a year. We're going to have our day in the sun, but it's got to be the right time. And now's not the right time. We need that first. Because you got this 4, and this one needs to be bigger. And then we can rip. Now what happens after that is really, really scary, but that's well down the line. Okay, we can talk about that in a very far future video. What we're talking about now is today. Now, since I brought up the Dow, I showed you the S&P. Let's look at the hourly chart now. Let's look at the final stages of this. This is a futures. Okay, and I got, just like the S&P, I got 2 options here. It's essentially the same thing. Okay, it's just a Dow version. This here is an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is all zigzags in here. Okay. All zigzags in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Donezo. Very common way, by the way, for blow off tops to end. Is in an ending diagonal. That's a 5-wave move. That's an impulse right there in this one. Okay, but it could be an A wave, as suggested by this bottom pane. ABC. Okay, that's a 1. That's a leading diagonal, not an ending one. 2. Let's finish it. Or it's all done. We'll find out next week. We will find out next week. Or this week, actually, because by the time you see this video, it's already this week. Okay, 1, 2, and we're done. We're down. We're donezo. I'm going to bring up something, another chart, another asset. Okay, this is a crypto asset. This is Solana. And we have a couple options here. Now we have this tie here. Again, we have 2 panes that I have 2 counts going. This price action on the way down from this high, that is not motive, which is very confusing. There's a reason I'm bringing this chart up. It's because, well, if this is not 5, how can it be a 1, Gup? Because either we still have to finish this impulse out, which we are 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's got a long way to go. Okay. Or, since we didn't make a new high yet, and we have a pretty large reaction from this so far. Okay, and this is another diagonal here. We're doing the same thing as the Dow. That's why I'm bringing this up. This is Solana. It's doing the same thing as the Dow. Okay, you have an impulse up to this A, 3-wave move down to B, and you have an ending diagonal as suggested by the bottom pane here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ending diagonal. That's what they look like in a C wave. Or, just like I said for the Dow, it's a leading diagonal and it's 1, 2, and we have a lot to go. Right? But here's the problem. We haven't created a new high yet. We didn't break $125 on Solana. So we have to leave this open. We're taking the totality. I'm leading you down a path of taking the totality of the market into consideration. Not just one thing. The totality of the market. this here could be the start of a leading diagonal. We bring that up. What would that look like? Well, it's going to be pretty big. I have to go to a larger time frame to show you. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Okay. What I have labeled here, we have zigzag, zigzag, 1, 2. And you would come down 3, 4, 5, something like that. So you can see what it looks like. Okay, and that would be a leading diagonal. And that would all be 1. This would all be retraced, such like that, and that would be 2, and then all hell breaks loose. That's Solana. Okay. Last thing we're going to look at today is Bitcoin. Let me bring up that chart. All right. Here we are at Bitcoin. What we have is a cycle top here in 2021. Well, here we are in 2024. We're 3 years later, yet to make a new high. I know what you all guys are thinking out there. Oh, the halving, the halving. The halving's coming. The halving, this is gonna be some bad news for you. Okay, bullish or bearish, doesn't matter. The halving doesn't mean anything. Which would obviously be proven if this count is accurate. Okay, but what I'm here to tell you is if this is a bullish count, because there's a way to get there. All right, I have an alternate count that allows for a 5th wave high. Okay, just like I showed you in the other one. My point is, even if that count were accurate, that we make a new high here, still the halving doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It literally doesn't mean anything at all. Some of you might be mad. Some of you don't want to hear it. But it doesn't mean anything. And when you realize it doesn't mean anything, come to my Discord. We'll talk about it. There's free options in the Discord too. You can go to the website and join for free. Now you can't see all of the content. You can only see, you do get early access to, say, this video. And you can talk in the general chat. It's kind of quiet because most of the members don't go in there. But if you did ask a question in there, I'll answer it. Someone else could answer it. If you want to chat it up, you can get into the Discord. But here we are. It's a similar story, folks. We have a parallel channel. We have a parallel channel. And a 3-wave move confined by parallel lines. It's a similar story all around. Now I have this labeled ABC because I have hope for Bitcoin. That's why I have it labeled that way. But you do need to keep in mind that Bitcoin is fake. That doesn't mean that you can't trade it. All right. Very obviously, the thing got to $70,000 for a completely fake thing that doesn't exist, which I love. I'm all about that life. I'm cool with that. Let's trade it. But we also have to realize that it's not a real thing. So this could be 1, 2. And we're getting 3, 4, 5. and then you just keep going down in 5-wave moves until 0. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying you need to have your mind open to that. For now, I have a 5-wave move up, and I'm just looking for a 3-wave correction to meet a guideline. Get me into this previous 4th wave. You haven't done it yet. You haven't got me into this previous 4th wave at all. Okay, I guess technically you barely touched it in the very tippy top right here, but get me into it is my point. But that should be scary to you. A 3-wave move contained by parallel lines, that should give you a lot of pause. Now I'll be the first one. You come out of here, rip roaring, find support and go. I'll be the first one to change my mind. Okay, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Let's talk about that for a second. People think they go on YouTube and they're looking for Nostradamus. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be looking forever. Nostradamus doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. Okay? It's not real. But what you can do is play probabilities and manage your risk appropriately when you do so. Don't take a risk because some YouTuber said that it's going at $700,000. Well, that guy said so, so he must be Nostradamus. There is no Nostradamus. And the market is never wrong. Ever. But you can be wrong, and you can still make money being wrong. You just have to manage your risk. So here we are with Bitcoin, still contained by parallel lines. Still there. Can we throw over a little bit and come back? Yeah, we can. Throw over's fine. Okay, you just can't break this one. Can't break this high. Can't break 70,000 with this count to be accurate. Let me show you the hourly. Okay, I got this all counted down. So here's one option. One option is it's done. Okay, and this is the same channel line that you saw. Same exact channel. It's just now we're looking at it in the hourly. Okay, it's all done. That's one option. Is it the only option? No, of course not. It's one option that it's all done. Here's the alternative. Okay. Notice I can count it a little bit differently, because when you get overlapping waves like this, if you saw in my previous videos, it's really hard to tell to know if that's 2 waves or if that's one bigger one. So this allows for higher. It's all legal. Okay, you can shoot up to, 55, 56, something like that. Who knows, right? Because in the bigger picture, right? Let's draw it. Let's go up to 55 right there. What did I just draw? It's nothing. Right? It's a little baby throw over. Then you can come down. Alright. I want you guys to stay safe out there. This is the analysis of the day. Okay, it can obviously change. If you're one of those people who's out there, you're like, wow, so what you're saying is it can go up or down? That tells me you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. I can show you the ropes. Okay, join the Discord. If you're willing to put time and effort into yourself, that is. If you're going to keep going out there and looking for Nostradamus to give you exact prices, you're going to be looking for the rest of your life. There is a way to trade these markets. And it's not trying to be Nostradamus. Till next time, folks, I want you to stay safe. I want you to manage your risk. I want you to be smart. Most of all, grab yourself a drink. Have a good one.